American universities today are enrolling thousands of young men and women who realize the increasing importance of a college degree in competing for good career positions. And so the entering freshman arrives at the campus filled with determination and high purpose, ready to meet the challenge of college life. The beginning of an academic career also marks the beginning of adulthood for the new student. No longer are his steps carefully guided. He must make his own way in this new community he has entered. Realizing that the freshman will need time to adjust to the more complex ways of college, the university has established a simple procedure for registration. The student receives an enrollment card which he fills out with great care. This card is then handed to a university clerk who carefully files it. After the payment of a moderate tuition fee, the validation of receipts, and the completion of various other administrative details, skilled photographers pose the student carefully for his identification photo. He then purchases a padlock to protect the athletic equipment issued to him. He is also given literature explaining the traditions and operational procedures of the university. He finds that registration is, in a sense, a preview of what he may expect in the 4 years that will follow. Many campus organizations choose this first day as the time to meet, become acquainted with, and carefully screen prospective members. In the bookstore, the student purchases the textbooks which are to become his constant companions and friends. Cooperative planning by the faculty makes it possible to use the same books for several correlated courses, and the student finds that 1 or 2 texts are all that are required for the coming semester's work. Many years of research and experimentation have finally resulted in a method of registration which allows the student to complete his enrollment with as much speed and as few encumbrances as possible. The university is well aware of the fact that unless consideration for the student is maintained at every point, his first day may become a trying one. And so everything possible is done to make certain that the freshman's introductory experiences with the college will be only the most pleasant. A modern age presents many and varied problems to the university, one of which is the student's automobile and what to do with it. As the number of car-owning students grew, the problem was recognized, met squarely, and solved. Special large parking lots were built to accommodate the student vehicles, parking lots deemed by authoritative sources to be more than adequate to cover any present or future needs. It therefore becomes a question of obtaining the most convenient spot, and still another proof of the fact that for the alert and quick-thinking student, there will always be room. The university believes that the active mind should be accompanied by an equally active body, And so one of the most stringent requirements is a full and varied course in physical education. It is here that the student is given an opportunity to learn sportsmanship, teamwork, and fair play as he enters into healthy competition with his fellow classmates. And in addition, he is taught body mechanics, cleanliness, posture, and hygiene, all of which will be of great value to him long after he has graduated from the university. All gym classes are dismissed at 20 minutes before the hour. This allows the student sufficient time to remove his gym clothes, shower, dress, collect his belongings, and go to his next class without having to rush. The architecture of the university combines beauty and utility, a fact borne out in this impressive flight of steps commanding the entrance. Not only does it enhance and complement the landscape, but it also serves the added practical purpose of getting the students from a low elevation to a higher one. In any case, it must be remembered that the university was built for the student, not the student for the university. The buildings themselves, though constructed of cold brick and steel, have been designed to convey warmth and welcome to the student. Yet mere superficialities do not disclose the great and wonderful activities taking place on the inside. The teaching and the learning, the acquisition of knowledge and new facts. It is indeed a surprise to the ever-curious student to discover the secrets that are held within these walls. During his second year, the student finds he's beginning to adjust to campus habits and customs. And there's an air of sureness about him as he converses with his classmates and friends. Because of ever-increasing enrollments, it has been necessary to hold some of the classes in temporary buildings. Students using these facilities take in stride the few little inconveniences that are involved. Contrary to the impression that most university classrooms have attained the size and impersonality of theater audiences, a recent survey revealed that the number of students in each class is close to an average of 26. It has also been said of the larger colleges that students soon lose their personal identity and become mere seat numbers in the minds of the instructors. This was proved erroneous when it was found that in reality, much individualized attention is given by the professors. So much, in fact, is this the practice, that in many cases, warm friendships result. Heading the university's reading habit is the daily newspaper. Each weekday morning it is placed in conveniently located boxes, and the student has only to come by and pick one up. The Student Health Service offers aid to pupils with problems of physical and mental health. It is staffed by some of the finest men in the medical profession, and any student making use of this service can be assured of receiving expert diagnosis and proper treatment. Counseling is one of the most important services offered by the university. Before each semester, the student is interviewed by a professor who is trained in understanding academic problems. In helping him select the most beneficial courses, the interviewer listens patiently, considers carefully, and advises accordingly. This professional guidance assures the student of a well-rounded program, personally fitted to his capabilities. counseling provides the student with a program of courses which not only fulfill academic requirements, but also broaden his interest along other lines. The subjects recommended by the counselor form a solid foundation for the more advanced courses of the curricula. Though on the surface, some of the prerequisites may seem extraneous or unrelated, they have become requirements only after careful survey has proven their preparatory work. And it is in this second year that the student also completes his required program of physical education. After 4 semesters of supervised athletic training, he is better developed physically and has become skilled in many sports as well.
Swim!
By his 3rd year, the student's transition to a collegiate way of living and thinking has been practically completed. He has learned to take advantage of the many convenient accommodations which the university provides for him. Upon the completion of his courses, or when he no longer has need for them, the student brings his textbooks back to the bookstore, where they will later be resold to other students at a substantial discount. In buying these used books, the store is able to pay, because of their large volume, a high percentage of the original purchase price. In the student store can be found school supplies and many other items necessary to carry on a college career. Run strictly on a non-profit basis, the prices are set at a level that merely covers cost and expense. In a large university, many students depend upon the school to provide them with a place to eat. On the campus are facilities equal to the best cafeterias in the country, and manned by large crews of trained personnel. Here, too, cost and expense, not profit, establish the prices. The high quality of the food is maintained by a staff of dietitians who plan a variety of tasty as well as nutritious meals. Football is playing an increasingly large part in campus life. And when the season rolls around, the excitement of the students over a single game may reach a fever pitch. But educators commend this spirit, for it promotes a feeling of unity as the students group together to give their all for their school. Then, quite as suddenly as it comes, football season is over, and the students find new interests and more time to catch up on studies they may have been neglecting. Though spring may be a season of laziness and the lessening of activity, it is also somehow conducive to studying. For when the air is still and only the sounds of the robin and the meadowlark disturb the quiet of the afternoon, what better time is there for gathering knowledge? There is indeed a certain eloquence in the ever so gentle sounds that nature serenades us with during this, the most pleasant of seasons. And it is these slight sounds that men throughout the ages have tried to capture with words or perhaps with music. For did not about some of our most brilliant scholars, poets, and composers receive their inspirations while drinking in the beauties of nature on a quiet and peaceful spring afternoon. By his fourth year, the student's educational development has been completed. He now moves in the higher collegiate circles and may even know the student body president well enough to exchange warm greetings. Problems that may have bothered him in earlier years, he is now able to meet with confidence, reason out carefully, and solve with academic precision. After much trial and error experience, he develops his own method of taking notes in classes. His study habits are now improved to the point where he can schedule his time to make full use of every minute. With complete impartiality, he devotes an equal amount of time to each subject. That he has learned his lessons well can be seen in many little ways as he carries on his everyday affairs. In his now mature mind are etched the hard lessons of 4 years of college life, and he no longer needs to be reminded of his scholastic responsibilities. The threat of exams loses some of its ominous foreboding, for he knows that while other students may suffer a few moments of anxiety, his hours of self-disciplinary studying will now pay off. And so when the final test comes, it is a well-prepared and confident student that eagerly accepts the professor's challenge, knowing in his heart that he is able to meet it and meet it well. Then all too soon 4 years have passed, and it is a more mature, wiser student that accepts his diploma, perhaps a little sad to be leaving, but still anxious to start upon a new life. And he enters his chosen profession with confidence, for he knows that with his thorough training and education, he is ready and able to find his place in the world, wherever that may be.